watch out for me, I'm about to glow.
We about to get the whole nine. We just landed on a gold mine. We the new Abu Dhabi, this is our time.
It's crunch time, y'all. We back at you. We came back for another episode. We had to hit you with a little knowledge. A little knowledge, you know. We got a little thing to say.
So, you know, Zell, this year we've had a roller coaster year in general, just with sports, you know. And as we start off this 2018 year, you know, we see in basketball that Golden State, they're still on top of the league, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
It looks like nobody can stop them right now. But the question is, who's their biggest threat?
Man, they got an all-star team. I mean, how can you threaten an all-star team when you're playing against a regular-ass team?
Yeah.
I mean, you got Kevin Durant, you got Steph Curry, you got Klay Thompson, you got Draymond Green, you got Andre Iguodala coming off the bench, you got even Patrick McCaw is playing well, you know? So it's kind of hard to threaten these type of players. The Cavaliers, they put together a team. You know, LeBron James tried to coach and be the GM at the same time. It's not really working. Clearly, he just put together the oldest team in the league. And I don't know what he was thinking or what the GM was thinking, but
windows are getting tight. I mean, even if you think about it, LeBron's window's getting tight. Even though he's not slowing down now, he's been in the league for 15 years. He's 34.
Right, and he plans on playing for 10 more years.
Yeah, exactly. Like you're gonna slow down. You know, you're gonna slow down. So I think like with him being the GM, he just put a team together that win now, not win long term. Win now. You know. I
mean, and that's just one team that is a possible threat, and the only reason that they're really a threat is because LeBron James is on the team. Any team that LeBron James is on is going to be a threat to the finals. Yeah, exactly. He's going to the finals every single year. How long has it been since he hasn't been in the finals?
Since the last time Kobe went.
Right, exactly. So, LeBron James, you got the Rockets, you got the Minnesota Timberwolves, who I think are, you know, the dark horse in this. I think once playoffs come, they have a great coach in Tom Thibodeau who can definitely coach a team into playoff contention and finals contention, especially with the talent that he has. And then you have the Boston Celtics, of course, who have Kyrie Irving now. They made that huge trade for Kyrie Irving and gave up Isaiah Thomas, and they have looked very good with that rookie Jason Tatum. Man.
Yeah.
So
that's a bit. That may be still the draft besides Kuzma.
Right. I mean, I wouldn't say he's a steal just because he went so high, but he looks like he should have been a number one.
He shocked a lot of people, I could say.
Yeah. So I mean, I believe that the biggest threat to the Warriors is the Houston Rockets. And that's where I'm going because of the talent they have and this combination of Chris Paul and James Harden, if they can stay healthy with Chris Paul's old ass, I mean, who knows if he's going to be there in the end. But James Harden will for sure be there, and he is a walk-in triple-double pretty much. I mean, the man can do it all.
Yeah.
The man can score at will. And I don't know who can guard him for, you know, the Warriors. That's my thing.
You're going to have to switch Steph and Klay off of CP and James Harden, with the exception of a Draymond Green or an Iguodala, wherever you start. It's your schemes, you know? Mm-hmm. You're going to have to play matchups.
Right.
You're going to have to play matchup, you know?
Yeah, yep. And I think that the Warriors definitely have more firepower than the Rockets.
Think about Chris Paul. He can't get out the second round.
The Warriors can get beat by the Rockets, say 2 out of the 7 or 2 out, you know.
Well, they lost the home opener, so yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I believe that when the Warriors go to the finals and the Cavaliers go to the finals, the Cavaliers are probably going to get swept. I mean, I'm sure a few people can agree on that.
Yeah.
So if they're going to get swept, but they are going to beat every team in the East, and the Rockets can take a game or two against the Warriors,
that's your biggest threat.
Then that's your biggest threat, right?
And clearly, Golden State's biggest threat last year wasn't even a team that beat them. it was a team that was getting ready to beat them before they even had an injury.
Ready but not.
So just because you come out of the East, like you just said, and face them, that doesn't mean you're the biggest threat.
Right.
Because your biggest threat could be in the East to where they just happen to fall or somebody gets hurt and you just happen to see the Cavs again. So where matchup from top to bottom, you can mop these guys.
So would you agree that the Rockets are the biggest threat, or do you have a different biggest threat?
I would probably say the Rockets because the way they could also move the ball, as well as, Chris Paul's IQ, which
They're shooting 3 after 3 after 3.
It's that, but it's just Chris Paul, how great of a floor general he is.
The last game against the Clippers, I mean, he looked a little bit like a B.I., but,
He got sensitive on us,
At the end of the day, he's a point guard. He's a point guard.
Yeah, but see, now that I'm glad that we talked about the Clippers. Because if they're going to be the biggest threat to the Warriors, they can't have a game like the Clippers so where they're losing and they're getting frustrated.
Well, James Harden wasn't playing.
No. I'm just saying emotional-wise. Like, no, I know he didn't play. I'm not blaming that loss to the Clippers. I'm saying, like, how their emotions got into it and how they were doing, like, ticky-tacky fouls and doing the most. Like, if you're going to be in a funk like that and Chris Paul can get kind of chippy at times.
Do you chalk that up to passion or emotional? Is he passionate or is he emotional?
I think he's so passionate he could become emotional. That's
Okay.
what it is. But you're so passionate and you want to win so bad. You want to do this and that.
You get all of your feelings on and your emotions.
Yeah.
And so that messes up his game?
I would say messes up his game, but then it rubs off on everybody else. And Golden State feeds off of that.
Okay. And they're gonna capitalize. Especially Kevin Durant. It's like you gotta contain yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so
but in my opinion, top to bottom, yes. Houston, to answer your question, yes. Houston is by far the biggest threat to them. You could say the Spurs, but besides really Kawhi Leonard, LaMarcus Aldridge, I don't see the Spurs doing enough to where they could force a 6 or 7 game series against the Warriors.
And they're very young at this point. And what about the Lakers, man? They gonna be in it or no?
Hey, you know what? We're 4.5 games out of 8th. The way everything's been shaking up, hey, we may sneak in. We won 5 out of our last 6.
All the Lakers need is LonZell Ball to play every single game. Stop getting injured.
The Ball's been injured all year. You think about it. His brother. His brother's career's injured. He got kicked off of the team for UCLA. You got caught stealing. Or your dad took you off because you wasn't gonna play and you wasn't about to get drafted. Your
dad made an executive decision.
No, he injured his collegiate career, and
by stealing.
By stealing, but it caused his little brother to miss out on college as well.
True. But at the end of the day,
that's education.
Didn't none of them want to go to school anyway.
That's true, but you always want that experience.
I heard LaMelo say, "It's a dream come true that I ain't got to go to school." So, they didn't want to go to school anyway, and they're gonna be over in Lithuania.
But do you support that as a parent? Like,
of course not. As a parent, you want your kids to go and get an education and all that. But I mean, speaking of the Ball brothers over in Lithuania, how you think they're gonna do?
I see them just adapting to how they play overseas and just getting better and better. Like, even the first couple games to where they both combined for 29 points in their first game, to just jump to a week later to now they combine for 60 points in the game together.
60 points against some 16-year-olds.
That's very true.
You know what I mean? So
I feel like they'll develop. They're gonna have to play the older guys. Like,
of course, I mean that's what they're aiming for. That's their goal. Their goal is to play against grown men in the NBA.
Realistically, this first season, they're not going to do as well as they want to do to where they'll be drafted. LaMelo, he's more league ready probably than LiAngelo.
But by 19, he will probably be league ready, which is in 3 years.
Yeah, he'll be really league ready. He'll be 3 years more in a professional league.
I see the Ball Bros doing well, like I said, in 3 years. I think that they'll be NBA ready.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if they stay over there for those 3 years and continue to do what they do, LeVar continues to make his money, BBB, that'll be about time for them to come over and they'll do pretty well in the league
as
role players. So
honestly,
Do you feel that the one and done rule is a legit thing, like it should be in place, or does it not matter?
I think, honestly, I always thought the one and done rule was a little silly. And the reason why I thought that,
Silly.
it's silly because think about it. From whenever you officially started the NBA drafts for high school up until 2006, they've always had for you to come out as long as you're 18 or you graduated high school. So if you're giving me that option from 20 plus years, then you take it away and you throw in this, well, you got to go to an NCAA school for 1 year. Why would I go to school for 1 year just to leave? Like, you know I'm leaving.
And now you're putting the college in a position where if you are not doing what you're supposed to be doing in class and they're pushing you through just so you can be on the court, now they're liable for sanctions and they're liable, to get in so much trouble just because they're trying to put you through so they can win.
But my thing is, it's not worth it to force somebody to go to school that doesn't want to go. If they just want to go to the leagues, how LeBron did, how Kobe did.
And if they're good enough.
Yeah, if they're good enough, for sure. If they're good enough, if they're a top high school prospect.
I think that is pointless because look at the real world. Look at people who come out of high school every single year and they go straight into what they want to do and start making money.
Yeah.
Whatever trade they do. There's certain trades where you don't need a college education. You could have been doing this all high school, and all of a sudden, once you're done, you come out and start making money. So, what's the point of making these players do that just so they have to, go through all these rules and regulations just so they can just be out of there just to go make their money? Who do you think should win the MVP of the NFL? Regular season. Don't even think about the playoffs.
Okay. I'm going to give you two answers. If I just go off of all 16 games that were played,
Got to.
the 2017 NFL MVP is your very own
Mine.
Carson Wentz.
Woo!
Carson Wentz.
He didn't even play all 16.
That's why I'm about to holler at you.
Holla at me.
So over his 12 or 13 games that he played, he threw close to 4,000 yards and over 30 touchdowns with less than 10 interceptions.
That was a big number.
So let's just say if we just estimate if he had those 4 games, he could have probably got 50 if he wanted to. But it's like his numbers, if you look at his numbers and his averages, his numbers are better than a lot of people's. Better than Tom Brady's. Better,
he balled out.
Better than,
He balled
this
out.
is going to hurt, but better than Russell Wilson's. He had better numbers than all these quarterbacks, all these people that are top candidates for MVP. He got hurt in the season, and he had the Eagles at, what, 12-1?
I know. He did his thing.
He had the Eagles at 12-1.
He did his thing.
I feel like he has to be MVP, but if you don't give it to him,
Has to be.
you would probably give it to Brady just because of what all he's done with little what he had.
Carson Wentz, you got a fan over here.
Hey, just for today.
So, my NFL MVP, you mentioned him, but not as the MVP.
Oh.
Like you should have. I'm going to go with Russell Wilson. Hometown. I just had to say it because at the end of the day, he led his team in rushing yards. He led his team in rushing touchdowns. He led his team in passing touchdowns and passing yards. I mean, he is the only quarterback, so he's the only one who could have done that. But he was the Seattle Seahawks. You know what I mean? As many running backs as they went through, how many running backs did they go through? About 5. And none of them could do anything. He created the opportunity for Blair Walsh to miss those field goals. Blair Walsh would have made those field goals that would have won them 2, possibly 3 more games.
They would have playoffs.
We would have been talking about him right now because they probably would have won, one again. Who knows where they would have been, but
we would have won.
They would have been in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So
we'd have been playing this
Russell
week.
Wilson did that. And as many injuries that went on with that defense, the Seahawks defense is the Seahawks defense.
We were banged up.
But they were banged up. And Russell Wilson did his thing. At the end of the day, he was Houdini out there. He made plays that you've never seen before. Russell Wilson was Russell Wilson, times 2 this year. He did his thing.
But do you know why they won't give it to him though?
Because they didn't go to the playoffs.
There you go.
Carson Wentz is a great pick.
Mm-hmm.
I love the numbers he put up. I actually thought he was going to put up those types of numbers this year, especially with the weapons that he got, Alshon Jeffrey and all. Yeah, they got some weapons. So, we're speaking on this NFL. Man, it's been a season from injuries just to no-name teams jumping into the mix of being great.
Players.
No-name players. Case Keenum.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Nobody knew who that was. But how you feel about these championships? The NFC and the AFC coming up. Man, this past weekend was something.
Man, I think starting off with the NFC, it's a tough one. But I think I'm gonna roll with the Vikings, 20-18.
Vikings.
They're gonna host the Super Bowl.
And that's nice. They're hosting the Super Bowl, and in the Super Bowl, I really like that. And that's home field advantage. There's no way you should lose.
Yeah.
But
they may lose.
Well, of course, because who could they possibly be playing?
It's another tough one, but probably gonna say 30.
Calling it tough.
34-20 New England.
And I hate to see the replacements come in and just do work, but I feel that that's all they are, really. The Minnesota Vikings have a bunch of replacements and a bunch of backups that have been balling out unexpectedly.
Yeah.
Like Case Keenum, Stephon Diggs, Thielen. Like, these players, I don't feel would be starters on other teams. You know what I mean? I feel like they're just like people who got thrown in there because somebody else got injured.
I tell you what, though, they will.
Minnesota replacements.
They will be starters somewhere next year.
Oh yeah, definitely. So I'm gonna take Nick Foles and them Eagles against the Minnesota Vikings. I don't believe in the replacements, and I don't think that they're gonna host the Super Bowl. So
the Eagles,
we gonna
Eagles
go with the Eagles.
crash the party.
Yeah, they gonna crash this party. They've been great all season, and their defense is gonna show up and show why they're actually there. It's because of that defense all year.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna go over to the AFC, and I'm going with the Patriots. It's hard to go against the Patriots because every year they do it. They do it every year. And it's Tom Brady. It's like kind of going against LeBron in the NBA.
It's
Tom
easy
Brady
if we got
does
Golden States on the NFC, though. It's easy if you got 15-1 NFC teams.
Yeah.
It's easy to go against Tom Brady, but
yeah, but the Jaguars ain't been there, and Blake Bortles, I can't hop on his bandwagon. I just can't. Blake Bortles always somehow does something.
You're not
terrible.
right. You're not riding with that defense.
I'm not jumping on no D because at the end of the day, Blake Bortles is their quarterback, and he is not the guy. He's not the
45.
guy. As many people want to talk about Blake Bortles, they want to bash him. I'm right there with him, bashing his ass. Blake Bortles and Jacksonville Jaguars, y'all had a great run. You had a great run, but I'm sorry, next year you guys might be good. You're doing something. You're on to something.
Just remember,
continue.
He's the same guy that doubted you guys last week against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I definitely did. I'm definitely on the Pittsburgh bandwagon in that time, and they actually should have won, but hey, it is what it is. They lost, and Jacksonville Jaguars went from worst to almost best. But hey, you're not there, and you won't be there this year.
LonZell.
You got a big bubble.
Big bubble.
Sorry, LonZell.
We have a guest. How do you feel about the AFC championship between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the New England Patriots?
You can actually beat these guys. You know what? You got that Ramsey guy out there in the corner who is the best corner in the entire NFL. Am I lying?
You're a damn fool.
He's gonna say Sherman.
I'm not going to say anybody, but you're a damn fool.
I actually want to know. I'm curious.
No. Continue with this Blake Bortles.
Now, Blake Bortles, now I'll tell you what, Blake Bortles, hey, man, you got it, bro. You can actually do this thing. You can beat the greatest quarterback of all time if you just do your job.
Thank you for tuning in. You can subscribe us at Twitter at official I.C.E, Instagram is Crunchtime Entertainment, as well as on Facebook.
Hit us up.
Hit us up.
We're coming back for more.
That's
You don't want to hear what's coming next.
Got big things coming soon.